if you have these kind of technologies in your school and you involve them with the children. Now, I just brought this. I work for the state of Ohio, a state that has declared all the schools to be LEED Silver, U.S. Green Building Council Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. The impact here is that, and I believe it was Mark Twain who said this, don't let school get in the way of your education. I dare say, if we get out of the way and let these kids take over, they will do a very, very good job. This is the same technology put into a school that, Dr. Singer and everyone like you, who has your charge and responsibility to run a school district with all that means in terms of your budget and the stresses and the parameters and restrictions and things you have on you, also presents tremendous opportunities at the same time to engage kids, K-12, I'm not talking about higher education, K-12, to wrap these things into the curriculum, not in an additive sense. Teachers have enough to do. They have enough to do. It has to be integrated into what they already do, so they can do it more effectively, more enjoyably, and do with the kids. But here we have kids in a school in Ohio who are looking at the equipment that is typically in a mechanical room, just monitoring mechanical equipment, and they are basically explaining to the lieutenant governor of Ohio what the school does, how it works, all about daylighting, why they enjoy daylighting, how many kilowatts per year, per week, per month their school's consuming, how much energy they've saved by going around and turning the lights off and writing their teachers tickets when they don't. At 25 cents a piece, that adds up. You can buy a lot of pizza with that. Now, if I pause right here, you have the lieutenant governor standing in one of your schools. I'll let you just chew on that one for a minute. Okay, just think about that one. Lieutenant governor sees children using alternative technologies, using science, math, technology, writing up English plans, speech, vocational arts, language arts, not just math and science, across the board, education, curriculum integrated horizontally. No one's left out, everyone's included in. Now, the point I wanted to make to Ryan is that an energy audit every 5 years? Are you kidding me? How about once a week? You have 13,600 kids in your school district. Every one of them could be very interested and engaged at looking at your school, how much water, how much electricity, how much energy, where is it going, is it in the curriculum, and so on and so forth. Now, I'll give you this one in terms of math and science, and think about this. How many of us are teachers again? Okay, how many of us when we were young had story problems in school? Remember story problems? Weren't they great? Okay, I remember a story problem when I went to school north of Pittsburgh, where a train leaves Pittsburgh traveling east at 50 mile an hour, and a train leaves New York traveling west at 70 mile an hour. Where do they meet? And they always crashed in Harrisburg. And I never wanted to go to Harrisburg because that's where all the train crashes were. I never wanted to go there, but at the same time, now imagine this. We have a Manham school, or a school in Kansas, pick a school, that's being monitored. You already bought the equipment, you bought the energy management system, but now it's going through computers into a computer lab. The child pulls up the amount of water that fell over the weekend and how much the cistern filled up. It's a cylinder, so they do a math problem on what is the volume of the cylinder. If it raises 8 inches, how much water is that? They correlate that back to the roof surface and then can go backward to that and calibrate how many inches of rain fell over the weekend. There was a football game, so the only people over the weekend who could have used the water was a football team. How much water did they use? How many showers was it? And why aren't we doing more to save water in the locker room? Because that's way too much water. That goes home and you can fill in the blanks. Because it's really the kids who educate the parents. Now I have ownership, I'm engaged, there's my cistern, there's my roof, there's my computer, and so on and so forth. I can look at that same equipment, math and science, in a math problem, and when the lights go out in the wing of your school and they go down because the students insist on it, you measure kilowatt hours in real time. That goes into your math curriculum, and by the time they graduate at 18, they know what a utility bills is, they understand kilowatts, they also understand demand rates, net metering, as Ryan described, and a whole lot of other things that they would have never gotten had they not been engaged in the school and the built environment. That's why you build high-performance green schools, and so on and so forth. It's not their language arts assignment. It's who are you reading and who are you writing about. Rachel Carson? Why not? And by the way, I'm not trying to turn 13,600 kids into radical left-wing, pinko, commie, environmental wackos. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to get a good reading assignment across that they might be interested in. Vocational arts, again, lead for schools. I'm in writing in Washington, D.C. Does anybody here sell bike racks for a living? Good. I'm in writing in saying that, if you purchase a bike rack for that alternative energy credit lead for schools, you should get 1 point taken away from you. Why can't kids build bike racks? When I was in school, and Chad and some others have heard me say this before, I had shop. How many of us had shop? Remember shop? Oh my gosh. Remember shop? Okay. I built a gun rack and a birdhouse. I have no idea where the guy, I didn't have a gun, I'm 12 years old. Am I going to, there's something wrong right there. I mean, I believe in the internet, all that stuff, but I didn't have a gun. What am I building a gun rack for? I still feed the birds. As a matter of fact, if you come to my house in Pittsburgh, I have more square footage in birdhouses than I do where I live. Okay, that's okay. That's a hobby. At the same time, if you can teach a kid to weld and do circuitry and do carpentry and so on, why can't the vocational arts program in Kansas be coordinated within the district so you can go back and retrofit existing schools with things that actually save energy? Why not pay for the programs? By the way, again, I don't know where my bike rack is, but I would like to go back to a school in my golden years and say, son, I built those light shelves when I was your age, and they're still working, and they're still saving energy. I mean, come on, these are legacy projects. Build self-esteem. Build community. Do it, okay? You can do it.